owns Wonki supermarket in Oakland's Chinatown. She says taggers have been targeting her business relentlessly for the past few years.
Yeah, we clean up and then they come in graffiti again.
Shirley says after repainting her storefront multiple times, only for it to be graffitied again the next day, she gave up trying to keep it clean. But that's when she says the city came knocking.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, what we have here is a little bit of Asian hate, a little bit of Asian crime, a little bit of Asians being hurt for legitimately no reason. You know, Oakland is what we call a crap hole city, right? It is not a good city. It is horribly managed. It is in a massive deficit. And to think that people ever wanting to live there is horribly impossible, because what we have here is that Oakland is trying to, or is fining these Asian people, this small Asian business owner, because she's not getting rid of the graffiti. And this is mostly due to the fact that, of course, in old California in liberal fashion and democratic fashion, they won't go after the perpetrators, go after the taggers that are actually destroying their business and allowing this to happen. So due to that, essentially, these people, these small business owners, have to pay essentially what we would call a victim's tax, because they will clean the graffiti, but then they'll just have to be punished for it because the taggers will come back and just do it all over again, and they don't punish the taggers. This seems to be a occurring thing here in Oakland, and it doesn't seem to end anytime soon here, which is incredible.
We clean up and then they come in graffiti again.
Shirley says after repainting her storefront multiple times, only for it to be graffitied again the next day, she gave up trying to keep it clean. But that's when she says the city came knocking.
Because it's not fair. We are the survivors.
We're the victims.
We are the victims.
And yet we're being penalized.
Yeah.
So, what we have here is that we have this Chinese woman, this business owner, to where they're trying to function as a member of society, trying to give back to its community, and unfortunately, that seems to be incredibly difficult, very hard, because the city is penalizing these people for graffiti that they can't remove, because even though that she is trying hard to remove this graffiti to make sure that this is no longer in her building, so she doesn't have to pay the fines, she has to pay the fines anyways, because the people that are tagging her business and putting up the graffiti are going back and putting it and tagging it and graffitiing it before the people can come back. Therefore, she gets penalized. So now she is forced to pay this, I would even say victim tax, because again, the city comes back when they're already doing it. Instead of actually the city doing something for once and maybe going after the criminals, which Oakland seems to never want to do. So therefore, she's stuck between a rock and a hard place. She can't keep on spending the money for the fines because she doesn't have enough to do that. As well, she doesn't have enough money to keep on repainting and doing it. So she's just going to say, all right, I'm done. I have to give up because, again, there's nothing I can do. I'm wasting money on doing paint. I can't afford this to keep doing this. And then at the same time, the city is going out and taxing her. What are we doing here? Like, they're fining her for something that is not within her control. She has no ability to do so, to have any power whatsoever. Instead, the city would rather go after the person that is asking to help and be dealt with this. But instead, that's not what's happening. The city would rather punish the person that's asking for help, to punish the people and to punish her instead of punish the perpetrators, the people that the city is supposed to be going after. This is insane. How do people live in Oakland? It is beyond me.
Stuart Chen is the president of the Oakland Chinatown Improvement Council. He says the city sent Shirley a notice threatening to fine her if she didn't clean the graffiti.
He thought it's very unfair. She cleaned it too. After the first notice, she cleaned.
the graffiti. But before the city can come back and re-inspect it, the taggers came back and they tagged it again. And when the city inspector came back to check it, they saw the graffiti back on the wall and thought that she didn't clean it.
So yeah, what we have here, as you can see from that clip, is that she cleaned up the graffiti. All thing was good and done, and then they come back, and then when they come back, they just do it over. So the process was she cleans up the graffiti. No, the process is the city says you have to clean up the graffiti because you'll get a fine. She says, "Okay, I will clean it." She cleans it up and repaints it. Then the people come back and graffiti it again, and then the city comes back, assuming that it's the same graffiti, and redo it again, and they send her a fine. I don't know how we can say that how this is even remotely a thing at all. Like how this keeps on going. And again, it is insane to think that this is a thing that should be allowed. I mean, at this point, the business owner should say, ask the city to take a picture and then see the next picture of showing that they're redoing the graffiti. And it's so that way you can see, like, well, okay, we see the graffiti here. It's different, so we won't fine you because you're obviously doing your job, but it seems to be new graffiti coming on. But they're fining her regardless. And it has to be so frustrating because, again, you don't know what to do. You clean up the graffiti, the people come back and graffiti it. The city says that you have to do this, but again, it doesn't matter if you clean it up because people will do it again, and then the city fines you because they think that you didn't clean it up. It's just a vicious cycle over and over again. And then again, this is this is all the failure of the city and not a failure of the business owner.
On Tuesday, she tried to pay the latest fine of $500. The city told Lu she actually owes $3,000, which include late fees.
Not our fault. If somebody go to the roof and mark.
This is not an isolated issue. Throughout Oakland's Chinatown, business owners are reporting thousands of dollars in fines for not painting over tags fast enough.
This business owner telling us off camera that the city came and asked him to paint over this graffiti to avoid a fine. He told us he's planning to do that, but also to fence up his entire business to avoid this from happening again. But truth is, this is still happening to businesses with fences.
At 4 o'clock, when we go home, we cannot watch, so city have to help.
It's pervasive.
Stewart says many business owners in the area, not just Shirley, have been threatened with fines, some for thousands of dollars if they don't clean the graffiti. But he says when it comes to trying to catch and arrest the taggers, the city isn't helping.
Because I've also spoken to the police. They know who the taggers are, but they can arrest if the DA doesn't prosecute.
So here's a few things that we have to go over here. So first off, she was going to pay the $500 fine because, that's typically what it was. But the city ended up telling her that she had to pay $3,000 worth of fines, including late fees, which is insane. I don't know how any business keep open for constantly having to be able to do this. And then to add insult to injury, this is not just affecting this business, but it's affecting multiple businesses. Multiple. So therefore, it's not like this one business offshoot where the city is failing here. No, they're failing everywhere. So all these other businesses are having to pay thousands of dollars in fines because obviously they're all having the same and similar problem. So we have that there. Then let's go into the meat grinder of this. Let's get to the full circle. So then we have the actual president, the controller of this area or what have you, knows the police, talks to the police often, and then even if he's talking to them, is like the police are like, oh, we know who the perpetrators are. We can arrest them, but the district attorney, aka the DA, will not prosecute these people. So therefore, they're just free to do whatever. This is insanity here. This is complete insane. I don't know what to tell you what's going on here. Like, this is insane. So they know who the people are, but they just won't arrest them. And even if they do arrest them, the DA just won't prosecute. So it's pointless. That's insane. You know what I think this is? I think that Oakland might be a criminal organization. The only reason why I think this is because if the criminals are doing something illegal, right? They're not doing this, and then you have to pay the fine. People have to pay the fines for what they were doing because you don't want this here. Well, the city can just get the money from it all because why would that matter? So therefore, it's like a actual partnership of some weird thing or a criminal organization because that is the only way I can make it out for this. Because it's just like the criminals do this, then the city issues a fine to where these people have to pay for it. The city will not punish the criminals or prosecute them for committing said crime. So therefore, they're just going to be allowed to do it, and this is a repeat offense. And therefore, the city gets thousands and thousands of dollars for all the crime that these people are, for all these things they're doing, and it's just a constant repeat. This is insane here. I have never seen something like this ever, and the fact that it's happening, man, I'm so glad I don't live in Oakland. I am so glad I don't live in Oakland. And if you're in California, just leave. Just leave. Like, I had to leave. We all have to leave.
For the month of August, the Oakland Chinatown Improvement Council's executive director said they tried painting over every tag they saw, but then things got worse. Despite this, they're hoping to extend the painting program for a year now.
Go over the taggers and continue to put murals on until we get to a point where we feel that we've made a significant improvement.
Now they're asking the city to take legal action against the taggers.
I won't say imprisonment or incarceration, but at least fine to show that there are consequences.
Unfortunately for the president here, he doesn't seem to understand that Oakland is not known for actual consequences. Because consequences means you are punished for your misdeeds. But see, so Oakland will not do this. This is the problem that I have with the far left, is that these people, and Democrats, are saying that we care about the criminals, we care about the people, yet the people that are being dealt with this hand, that are having to deal with this, are the ones that are truly suffering. Because when you start caring for the criminals, you start feeling bad, then all the people that are actually following the laws, that are not committing crimes, well, now they're the ones that are suffering, and now we have to deal with this BS. So, again, it's insane. I mean, the council they created to make the task force to clean up the graffiti is a good thing. That's okay. But, again, at the end of the day, it is the city's job to deal with it. And they're begging people, or they're begging the city, trying to ask, can we have some prosecutions and can we please have consequences? They're not even asking for jail time or prosecution or what have you. They're just asking for like a fine of some sort for the taggers, which of course they should be prosecuted. They're not even asking for the thing that they rightfully are asking for. So the city is failing at every single regard, and I just cannot fathom how this is allowed to go through.
The city.
Shirley says she's just hoping someone can help her because she can't afford to keep cleaning up the graffiti, and she definitely can't afford to pay continuous fines.
So sad. So sad. Yeah, it's not fair, huh? Not fair.
Yeah, so I actually feel very bad for Shirley here because it's not her fault that she has to be dealing with this. She's trying her best to run her business. We have criminals and thugs coming to ruin her business and put graffiti there. The city is punishing her for things that is completely out of her control. She tries to do things to fix this, and she just can't. She's stuck between a rock and a hard place because when she does clean it, the people come back, and the city still fines her because they think that she's not doing her job and to remove the graffiti. And this, again, is nothing to do on her fault. This is not her fault at all. This has all the 100% to be with do with the city, and I think that she should sue the city for not actually doing their job. I honestly think she might have a possibility here because she's doing her job. She's trying to do what she needs to do, and it just sucks. And this business is going to just go under because the city refuses to do their job. And this hurts the community at large. This is what happens when you liberals and you far leftists go to this length. Like, this is what happens. Like, chaos ensues, and it's all your fault.
She said she called the city's interim mayor and is hopeful that after a new mayor is elected in the week of April 15th, changes will happen here.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any hope for this because unless you vote for a person that is not going to doom your city, I don't see this ever going to change. You have to see what's going on. Now, I may do updates or whatever with this story. We'll see what happens, but I don't see how Oakland's ever going to change. If you're going to keep on voting people that are going to allow this type of thing to happen, do not punish the perpetrators, then there's not much else you can do. You have to vote differently, and that's the only way I can also say it. All I know is that Oakland is a shithole like always. It is a terrible place to be, and I can't believe that it's still even functioning. It's surprising that it is, and it's terrible. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Let's go share. As always, take care, my friends.